Hey folks, welcome to my continuing effort to do a recording where I solve a CSS battle. And I'm trying to solve every single one that they have ever done. I'm about a quarter through. Alright, so these are from August 30th, 2023, August 31st, 2023, very much like an iPod. This one is two flags, two just abstract shape. And then this guy looks like, I don't know, maybe a bug or a landmine, or not a landmine, but a mine in the ocean, or just a thing with rounded spikes. All right, let's get to it. Let's see what we can do. If ever there's one that smells like, to me, something that's a conic gradient, it's this one, conic gradient. On the element. Now I do need to. So yeah, this is from 180 degrees, and then it's going to be transparent on the inside, 25% or 90 degrees, and then purple. So that's the basic shape, and then the second one is reversed. Doing things in a different order than I usually do, but that's all right. I'm going to transform him to be scaled across the x-axis of -1. So that's how you get two of those. All right, now I need the correct background color, and I need the correct margins. So let's do the first. Let's do the top margin to begin with. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, and then actually, can we avoid doing the margins there even if we do a display flex? Let's find out. No, because I need to center them anyway, so I'm going to need the margins. Okay, so let's, again, doing things in order, not in the right order, display flex. Okay, and that means I need a width. And that means I do need margins. 40, 0, 40, 40, 40, 80, 40, 90. How about 50, 90, 51, 52, 53, 54. Okay, so that's the start. And we need a gap because there is a gap between these. Gap of 20 pixels. Is that correct? That was a nice guess, and I'll take it. All right, so let's make them taller. 2, 10, 20, 25, 230. All right. Then, by changing the at value, that is the center, I can alter that. And 80% might be right. 2, 3, 4, 35. Is that it? Ooh, there's a little bit of a line there. Is that a solution? Let's see if that's 100% match. When we submit to CSS Battle, it checks on the server, says, hey, did you get every pixel right? And in this case, no. It's saying that's 99.9%, so that's no good. Let's try 100 pixels. Let's try 80 pixels, and then resubmit. See if we're there. Maybe there. Let's find out. That's 100%. We unit replace and minify and resubmit and call ourselves done. There. And that's a new high score for me. That's great. Next. All right, what do we got? We got this guy here, huh? What is he? What is he? I think... So let's get the color. We'll do things in a more reasonable order this time. We'll do the background first. And let's set the margins more correctly. 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 110, 120. And let's set the height. Is it 200? All right. And then let's do... a background, it's a radial gradient. I know that also doesn't seem like I'm totally where I need to be there, but circle at 50%, 75%, so that's a circle here-ish. And then the internal is this white color again. And let's say 10%, and then it goes to orange. So that's what that looks like to begin with. 20 pixels, we'll just eyeball it. How about 15? Not checking the diff there. That probably is not right. 14, 15, 16, 15. How about 20 pixels? 25 pixels. 25 pixels looks just as good. Okay, the border radius of what, 10 pixels? Maybe it's 20. Okay. And then what do we need next? We need a second block. And we could do that with a very complicated series of radial gradients, or we could have a second element. And so the second element has a background that happens to be that. And then what if we set our margins 40? We want it to go upwards, so the top margin I think is going to be negative, maybe by 100. And then the side margins are going to be more. Now we've got the body margins already to deal with, so do we need what? Minus 20? And then, or was it 20? 20, like that. And then we want to set our height differently. So let's set that as a var. Var is -h or 200. And then let's set -h to equal to some number, 10. And that's close, huh? So we need to make it go up more with a negative margin to 190, 195, 196, and it's got to be taller to 60, 70, 80. All right, and then we need a different border radius. So we'll turn that into a var, -r, or a default of 20 pixels. And then by setting that border radius, -r, to 10 pixels or something, then I think we got it. Which means also that we can turn this into a gradient variable g, and we'll do that as either var of --g or that whole thing. Okay. Margin, we don't win anything with that. So I submit, and this is the second. So this is from August 31st, 2023, and that's 100% match, and that's a new high score, and we unit replace, and we minify, and we resubmit, and we've done it with 2 paragraph tags. We created that shape. Pretty fun. Always very, very, very fun to create what seems to be a complicated, well, it is, what seems to be a highly complicated element, and you get that look and feel. And then, as I like to often do, if I can put something on that screen. I can put ArtLung.com, my domain, in there, and that's sort of interesting, right? Like, that's kooky, that's fun. All right, let's not do that. That's silly. All right, next and last, we know the easy part is the circle, and I think we suspect that each of these is the same spoke. So I think what we would like to do is use transform to get the second and third ones. We know we need to rotate them. Probably that's at 30 and 60 degrees. So I'm going to do the first one first. And the background of purple. And let's see what we need to do to get to get that right. So I want to create a block that's exactly that height, and that's not too bad. With border radius is what we need now. 20 pixels, and that's the first one. Then what? Well, we need 3 of them. Here's the second. So I'm going to say I want to variabilize the modifications to them. So let's do a transform of a translate of dash dash x or 0 and dash dash y or 0. So var, we want a var. We're variabilizing or CSS custom properties, each one of these, var, and like so. And then a rotate of a dash dash r or 0. So the second one, translate is moving and rotating is self-explanatory. So we have 3 of these. And I'm going to use a B attribute to represent the second and a C attribute to represent the third. So B, I want to rotate it dash dash R of 30 degrees. Is that working? I don't know. I need to include the keyword var to make those work. So part of this is if you go fast, did you get the syntax right? So translate. Okay, so that's where the syntax went wrong. I'm missing a closing paren. With nesting, we get to see that. And then minus dash x is minus 100. And then, so no, that's probably 0, huh? I can kind of see that. Okay, so that's the first one, and I guess that rotate is wrong, so it could be 60. And then the vertical is minus 150, 250, something like that. That's close. 6, 55, 54, 55, 56. Close. And then for the C element, I guess we could do minus 60. And minus 500 to maybe an odd way to do that. But that's okay. I'm content with that. And then we're going to put that radial gradient in the background. Radial gradient with that same not sure what mustard. We'll call it mustard. Going out to purple. Oh, here's the mustard. The mustard starts with F. The mustard is F0CD48. And a hard edge. Oh, look at that. Ha! So, why is that doing that? That's doing that because the body of this is taller because I've got these 3 elements that are that all take up space. They're all tall. Transform doesn't take them out of the flow layout, the layout flow. So they're still taking up space. Even though I've transformed them to make them rotate and move up, the page is still tall, which is weird, but it is how it works. So that means I can't use percentage. And it also means I probably need to, or if I use percentage, I need to also use an at. So I use these odd numbers to get a similar effect. $70, $71, $72, $73, $74, $75. And hopefully I've got it. So this at is because I've altered the flow. Now I'm already sort of, rather than position these fixed, which I could have done, but because I made that decision, that affects my ability to use a plain circle on the body. Now I could also do something like an after on one of these elements and create a block that's, you know, whatever that 150 by 150 circle. But this is just as good. All right, let's submit and see if we got a good score. If we've got 100%, then we're done. If not, then maybe I need to revisit how I'm doing these other ones. And that's 100%, and so I'm going to accept it. Even though there's a certain wonkiness to being obliged to do that, right? Like, it's not the best. It has a little bit of a code smell to it. All of this code is pretty, has funny smells to it, right? When we talk about code smell, like, there's something, like, I don't know if I can trust that code. Like, yes, it works, but it's gotta, like, I'm probably going to have to pay for that at some point. It may have side effects down the road. So that's what we talk about when we talk about code smell. So that's August 30th and August 31st and September 1st of 2023, and that was pretty pleasant and fun to do. Thanks for following along. If you are still following along, appreciate you. Have a great day out there.